Hi, we're Kira McCarthy and Alana Temple from Autism Atlas, and we're absolutely delighted to be speaking to you today about our project, Autism Positive Communities, which has been funded by Scottish Government and is part of the National Increasing the Understanding of Autism programme, which aims to make Scotland a more accessible, inclusive and understanding place.
Autism Positive Communities aims to increase public understanding and acceptance of autism for training sessions, presentations and drama performances for audiences of all ages and backgrounds throughout Scotland, from our team who are all on the autistic spectrum. All our presentations and performances are written and designed by us, and we find that by combining our personal experiences and research, we give our audience an enhanced personal and practical insight into autism they can use at home and at work.
By equipping people with the knowledge and understanding to adopt good autism practice, we can help autistic people feel safer and better supported by the communities they interact in, which is one of the major things we want to achieve with this project. Whether people are accessing services, using public transport, shopping, taking part in events, or applying for work.
As part of Autism Positive Communities, we initially planned to deliver in-person autism training workshops and shorter presentations for staff across several businesses and organisations and a number of local authorities. Within our presentations and training sessions, we would include parts of our own stories as well as practical exercises that enhance our message to produce a well-rounded training experience. There are over 6 trainers in our team, including ourselves, who all offer unique insight into their experience with autism. They are given the space to offer their opinion on what they feel is the best way for communities to offer support, while also offering advice that can be used for where personalised support isn't possible.
We also plan to take our award-winning play, In Our World, A Day on the Spectrum, across a number of stages. Our play was written and produced by some of our team members and addresses issues and solutions for situations such as bullying, sensory issues, public travel, employment, criminal justice, and more, all from a variety of autistic perspectives. A key aspect of In Our World is community involvement. So for every scene, we include professionals and community members and have them involved in the writing process, so we're creating an accurate scenario. We've had real teachers on the stage, as well as real police officers, supermarket staff, parents of autistic children, and bus drivers. It's a wonderful experience as we all learn something really valuable from each other. As we continue to make more personalised scenes for organisation services, we're providing them with the most practical and precise guidance on good autism practice, since we're working with their level of understanding of autism. Our play has been well received by adults and children alike, and we've even had the honour of performing part of our play for the First Minister and the Cabinet in 2017 at Bute House. And aside from the project, we were also very excited to be bringing our play to a conference in Manchester, but due to COVID, this has unfortunately been delayed until further notice.
All in all, between our training and our play, we aim to engage with around 200 people monthly. While training would mostly be for employers and employees, our play is suitable for a wider audience. In every instance, we make it clear that not every autistic person is the same, and we pride ourselves on having an array of different experiences and opinions included in our training material to ensure everyone in our team is equal and listened to. We include a multitude of suggestions as we understand that no two autistic individuals would appreciate the same adaptations as others. Our trainers are free to express their opinions on what would be an appropriate change for them in the community, while respectful of other autistic individuals' differences. In a majority of situations, the autism community tends to agree on most adaptations made in the community, but we think it is vital to teach the community that not every adaptation will be suitable for everyone and that there is always room for improvement. Our training sessions and performances alike are to help people understand the realities of living with autism and that no person on the spectrum is the same. But by showing more compassion, understanding, and patience, and making small changes, we can all make everyone's day-to-day life easier.
All the work we plan to do is based on the work we've been constantly improving and adapting since late 2013 on a volunteer basis. Work from collaborations with Police Scotland, several primary schools and high schools, the Courts and Tribunal Service, supermarkets and other businesses has helped to form what Autism Positive Communities is today. We constantly tailor all our sessions to suit our audience's needs, so no training experience will be the same. And given the current circumstances with coronavirus, we feel this is especially relevant now.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, we have had to come to the decision as to whether or not we could continue with the project and how we would go about repurposing our work to comply with government guidelines. We have since worked closely with Inspiring Scotland to adapt our project to best fit the needs of the community during this difficult time, for means that are safe to do so. As a result, we're working hard to rework our training and presentation sessions so that they can be hosted online. In terms of COVID, we've made several videos regarding issues the autistic community are facing during this time, and provided reassurance and guidance on how to best handle the situation and better assert the rules, which have felt vague to both the neurotypical and disabled communities. We want our work to reflect the massive transitions and impact the pandemic has had in the autistic community, and the effect it will have for years to come. So during this time, we're working hard to rewrite and create new content for this.
The transition from in-person to online training has not been easy, however. We're doing our best to compensate for key parts of our project that just cannot be replicated online. And we are disappointed that we can't engage with the public in quite the same way, and I'm sure many others feel this way. Additionally, since our training team is autism-led, we've all really struggled during this unprecedented time. It's been difficult to cope with many aspects of the pandemic, and there's been a lot of uncertainty. Routines have been drastically changed, which in turn has had a huge impact on executive functioning. Also, shopping, travelling, and face coverings are only some of the major sources of stress, and it's made focusing on the project difficult as we do try to adjust to a new routine. Despite these hurdles, we have supported one another throughout the changes, and we are aware of how important it was to share this support in the best way we could with other autistic people in the community who lacked this same circle of support we had. Since March, we've continued to provide information on the Facebook page.
I'll say it here before I continue. There is no actual shame in being autistic, having anxiety, being shy, awkward, or any of these things. I think for those of us in those situations, however, you can understand where I'm coming from with this. It's about hiding those parts of ourselves we think are completely undesirable. It's about forced and repeated learning of unwritten social cues and dynamics that come so easily for other people until that understanding shapes into something we can use in public. And believe me, when I say I get the panic when we're confronted with an issue that goes beyond what we've spent a painstaking amount of time learning, when we're put in a new situation where we haven't had time to prepare for it, quite honestly, frightening.
While Atlas has only been around for over a year, our team has been voluntarily presenting to police officers and a range of other professionals for a number of years. We knew that if we wanted to reach more people and make the best difference we could for more autistic people, we would need to take the project further. Atlas, which stands for Autism, Training, Leadership, Action Scotland, comes from wanting the best outcomes for kids by working together with businesses, organisations and general public so that we can grow together to make an autism-friendlier Scotland.
All of us on the training team throughout our lives have seen a lack of autistic voices in leadership roles and training. Atlas as a whole is a collective of individuals who have worked in the community, are on the spectrum, or know someone with autism who wants to make a difference to ensure autistic voices across the spectrum are at the forefront of every conversation about them that will impact their lives. This is why all our training is written by autistic people.
Before and during this project, we've always been encouraged to see that there are a number of people in different businesses and organisations who do want to support their autistic clients, employees, or colleagues. And in a lot of instances, they just need to be equipped with the right knowledge and skills. Our training has been well received and allowed people to change their working practice. By having autistic voices at the forefront of the conversations that are about them, we can share our stories and make a difference. By sharing these stories, we've made friendships along the way that we still cherish today.
Ultimately, we hope to have increased acceptance in public spaces and improved employment opportunities for autistic people by having their needs met so they can feel more included in their communities. We hope we have, and will, continue to show others how vital autism representation is and how big a difference we can really make, even with minor changes.
All of our autistic trainers have had to overcome traumatic experiences of animosity and discrimination while growing up in school, becoming part of the workforce, or from public services who didn't adjust themselves to provide adequate care for their autistic needs. We don't want history to repeat itself. We want to educate professionals, public services, and so on, so that people with autism transitioning through life have the best experiences they can, from the youngest to the oldest. We want to create a legacy for the people coming behind us so that they feel included, not ostracised from their communities. We always say that an autism-friendly community is ultimately a people-friendly community, as many of the small adjustments we recommend could also be beneficial for people who don't have autism.
While starting our project, no one could have anticipated the coronavirus and the impact it would have on all of our lives. The fear, the confusion, the uncertainty. But during this storm, we were met with a rainbow, a symbol of unity, hope, compassion, and applause for all of those who have worked hard to make our community safe. At the end of every rainstorm, there is a rainbow. Let's continue with the compassion for our community and not let it fade. For although COVID-19 may be no longer someday, we still have individuals who struggle to go to school, work, shopping, communicating with others, etc. Let's not forget those who struggled before the pandemic even began, and who this project was initially for. Let's continue to work together to make Scotland a safer place for autistic individuals. We would like to thank Inspiring Scotland for giving us the opportunity to do just that. From all of us at Autism Atlas, thank you.